there, I have one of my new Valentine books that I created papers for, and it's going to be junk journal and ephemera. Now, yesterday I created this with some of my new Valentine papers for this year, and I used the lay flat method for this. So I think today I'm going to go ahead and just do the traditional way that I created these papers, the way they were meant to be to create a junk journal. I just like to deviate sometime and do something different, and you can check that video out. But for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it into a junk journal the way the pages were intended. And I've done these before if you've seen any of my other videos. I've gone ahead and cut off the spine, and this style was really different. It's just kind of, I called it Storybook Valentine. It's just really cute, kind of retro, reminiscent of those adorable little vintage Valentines that we had. Or at least I had when I was a girl. So if you get the book on Amazon, it has the instructions. If you get the pages from Etsy, it also has instructions. They're just a little bit different because you're going to be printing your papers from Etsy. This is available now on Etsy and Amazon both. So we have our junk journal pages you fold in half, and then it's got some portrait and landscape background pages as well. Now, to fold this, we're going to take all of our junk journal pages, which are these ones that fold in half into a booklet, and that is those. And then, well, actually, I want to keep it with the first page up. And then we have our landscape pages. They're front and back. And then we have our pocket pages that we fold in to make a pocket page that fits anywhere in the journal because they're shorter, so you can place them anywhere. They're more narrow, I should say. And then we've got our tags that we will cut and put on cardstock. So the back is plain. You could use them as is, but I like to make them a little bit thicker with cardstock. And then we have, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we have little conversation hearts to cut out. And then we have some ephemera. So I kept this mostly in primary colors. And we do have, you know, the red and the blue and the yellow, a little bit of cream background. So that is what we are going to do. This is just the back of the cover. Okay. We'll need our bone folder for this portion, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up and fold it in this way because we want this to be on the top. And I designed these papers so that they match up once you fold it into a booklet. So we'll just go ahead and fold it and then give it a little crisp edge, and we'll turn it up like this. And then we'll take this one and we'll fold it up the same way. And if you ever forget which way to fold it, you can always look and say, oh yeah, that little puppy would go with that little puppy there. So that you're sure you're matching them up. And really in the long run, it's no big deal if they don't because all the colors coordinate, but you can always rearrange them as well. And if you fold them the wrong way, you could just flip it back and fold it the other way. We got that one. And now that you see how we do this, I'll speed this up. And there we have it, all of our pages folded into our booklet. And we're going to add more things to it, but and we're also going to bind it. I think we're going to bind it with ribbon today. But I'll just flip through real quick and you can see the adorable little images. I just thought they were so cute. Okay, so next I think what we want to do is we're probably going to put some pages in the middle using our, where are they, our landscape pages. Now sometimes to make this even thicker, I like to go ahead and use cardstock on these. So let's see what we want to add. We're definitely going to, you know, be decorating with our ephemera and tags here in a little bit. Oh, let's make our, we probably want to go ahead and make our pocket pages too. So to make those, and there's 2 of those, I usually try to have 2 in all of my books. So what we do is we fold this flap up. Go ahead and give that a little crease, and then you fold it inward. Now, as I say all the time, you could fold it this way if you wanted to have your pockets on the inside. I like to have my pockets on the outside, so I fold it in this way. And then we're just going to take a little bead of glue and glue this together. Same thing here. Fold that up. And fold this in. Now in this little journal, as you can see when I flip through, there is a ton of room to add pictures and journaling. Let me grab my glue. I probably want my glossy accents for this. Now sometimes this thing clogs up, so we'll see how we're doing. Get a paper towel here, and let's see if we got any juice. Now, probably have to stick a pin in. So I take these push pins that I keep, and I just, whoops, let's go ahead and stick the push pin down in, and that usually opens it back up. Yep, this just clogs so easily, I think because it's a glitter glue. Let's move that out of the way. And all you need to do is just run a little bead down here, and then the same thing over here. Sometimes I get too much glue and I don't want it to get on that other side. And it looked okay. All right, there's one pocket page, and let's get this other one. I hate that I covered up Love Post, but that's actually there. It's in on a paper as well, so. Same thing over here. I just love these colors. They're so nice and vibrant, sunny. Because love is sunny, right? And of course this book, now my other book is pretty romantic. You'd probably want to do that with your love partner. You'd probably want to put pictures and of dates and so forth. But for this, I think you could do your kids, you know, your pets, anything, because it's just cute. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out where we want to put these. We could put one. She kind of reminds me of her. Let's put this one in here, and that gives you more room here to write, and we'll stick some of our tags down in here. Let's put this one in here, and then keep on on flipping. We got our mailbox one. Sweet, maybe it's sweet on you. Let's see. If we put that here, and we got that over there. That's kind of cute. If we did it there. No, yeah, I won't do it like that. Okay, so we've got those in. Now we want to take, and since there's these two landscape ones, I mean, what we could do, we could just fold them and put them in the middle. Or, like I said, we could put them on cardstock and make them a little bit thicker. And I'm thinking, if we do that, we really wouldn't have to cut them. Like a lot of times I'll cut them in half, you know, and put them on the cardstock. But if we put cardstock in between both of these, we'll take a couple sticky pages, and it might be too thick. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. No, I think we better just go with, but what happens is we lose one of our sides. So I don't want to lose one of these sides. I think I'm just going to fold these in the middle and put them in the center. Made an executive decision there. Okay, so, you know, this could go here, and then we would have this, and this, and this. It just gives us some extra pages there. Alrighty, so we want to bind before we start decorating. So let's make sure we got everything where we want it. We want this about in the middle, and that one looks good. I could come down maybe a little bit. Okay. And then, yeah, everything else should be square. Now, what I like to do is I've got some templates here, and these help me know where to punch the holes. So we could do this and we'd have ribbon coming out. I kind of like that setup. Or we've got two there. No, I think that's too much. I think I'm going to use this one. So we'll have like a little ribbon here holding and a little ribbon here holding. I mean, you could even do like two in the center, but I think this will be good. So we want to put this. First, we've got to clip our things together with some paper clips. Actually, clamps, I should say, not clips, but clamps. So open it back up to the center, and we want to hold it in place really well. These, some of them are kind of little here, but they'll still work. Just want to get 4 of them on here possible. That's a tiny one. Don't have any more big ones. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and put this in the center. We need to hold it in place as well. That's when these little ones come in handy. Let's crease it and make sure it's where we want it. Put another one here. There we go. So then we're going to take my crocodile. Get our little handy dandy crocodile here. And I use the 3/16 setting for this. It's very similar to the size of a regular hole punch. Okay, and then you can look, so as you, I don't know if you know how these work, like as you are pushing down on this, you can see where the hammer is going to come through, and that helps. That helps you to line it up. And see, with a regular hole punch, you wouldn't be able to get down to this second one. You know, it would stop. The paper would stop it. Okay. Pretty good so far. It's hard to see on this darker one with the black. Ugh, the dark blue one here. Not sure I'm right in there. I might have to turn this off so I can get a better view. Okay, that worked. I was able to get a better view, bringing it closer to me and angling it a little bit different. So we've got our holes where we want them. So next we take this off because there have been times that I put my ribbon through this and then I had to tear my template and make a new one. Okay, so I brought some ribbon. I've got reds and blues. I've got a little bit of yellow. Find where I put my ribbon. Found it. So I think this one, I think, could be adorable. I don't know if it's too thick, though, you know, for we might be able to use this somewhere else in there. That's kind of more pinkish, but it looks nice there. Probably going to want to go with more like this, like the silkier kind. And this width, we don't want it too wide. Let me see my red. And sometimes I have been known to use both. So I would feed through the red and the blue. So we've got red. That would look really nice. I've got some red and white. Now it's all white on the back. Okay. Wish I had some more of this. Isn't that cute? Got me some red, white, and blue. That's more 4th of July, though. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is we'll use the red and the blue. We'll just double that. If I can find the end of my blue. I can't find the end. There it is. Okay, so we've got our red and our blue. And what we're going to do, need to feed it through here. This is always fun. At least the hole's thick enough. You know, technically I probably should put eyelets in here. I'm not big on doing that. I don't know why. I should put eyelets in all the time. But I like to have enough to tie a bow. And I've got gobs of this ribbon, so I'm not worried about losing it. So if we want to kind of estimate, we need some to thread through and then try to make it about even. I think we'll cut it about here. Sorry for the reach. Okay, so then this is going to be pretty. Then we're going to go back through here, through this hole. And you know, you can always put fingernail polish, clear fingernail polish on the end of your ribbon, which I'll probably do as I finish this so that it doesn't unravel all over the place and make a mess, look a mess. There we go. Cute, cute. I wanted them both to show through like that. All right, now hopefully we have enough to make a bow. My fingernails are long again. I swear every time I turn around they are. And it's harder to make bows. Ooh, cute. But sometimes what I have to do is go ahead and make a double knot. And then it makes it easier to make the bow because I'm not trying to hold on to it. There we go. I think this is going to work. I wish I'd have measured the ribbon so that I could have the same amount in the next one. Cute. Okay. Like it, like it, like it. And it will fold a lot better once we take these clips out. But I don't want to take the clips out till we get both of our ribbons through. y'all had a good Christmas. I know maybe you're not in the mood yet for Valentine's Day, but I know I gotta get moving on this, especially because I have a class and we're gonna do, since the class is January 14th, I thought we better do Valentine's Day because we won't meet again until later in February, and that would be too late. Okay. So same thing, we're just going to do this exact same thing. And like I said, I just have found, especially when my fingernails are fighting me, it's better to just get this nice and secure, then I don't have to try to hold it as I'm trying to make a bow. Okay. And sometimes it's not as tight that way, but I think this is working out pretty well. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I think that's a little bit longer. We'll just cut a little snippet off here. It's not terribly much longer than the other one. There we go. Okay, cute. All right, take this off. And of course, with this type of binding, you can always undo it if you need to. If you wanted to add more, take away or something. Let's see how this turned out for us. Yep, working just fine. Okay, cool. So now we'll do our tags and our ephemera. And I think you've probably seen me do this before, but so if you have, forgive me for going through it again in case there are any beginners out there who have never done it. And you could just fast forward if you're already a pro at this. But what I like to do, because I want to make this a little bit sturdier, and then also possibly give me some, stamping room. In fact, I only brought my blue and my red, and we would want probably a lighter color if we're going to stamp this one. What will we stamp on? We might stamp on these. These we will not be stamping on, so let's go ahead and work with them first. So, excuse my sniffles too. We just got back from Maryland and I've got a cold. Okay, I've got blue and red cardstock. I'm probably going to do one of each for these, and it really doesn't matter which is which. So, this is double-sided sticky paper that I get from Amazon, and you can go ahead and pull this big yellow one off, or it might not be yellow on what you get, but your main cover piece you want to take off. And then we're going to put the cardstock down on there. And you want to make sure you have it lined up the way you want it, because once it grabs, it really grabs. And this is a little bit bigger than the cardstock. Well, actually, it may not be. I just kind of like got it uneven, didn't I? And then we take our little, kind of a multi-purpose tool. Here it is. I came with my Cricut to get, whenever you want to, like when you make something and you've got to take the inside, you know what I'm saying, the loose pieces off. I don't know what you call them, the extra pieces. There we go. Sometimes it gives me a fit about taking this off. Okay, so you pull that off, and then you're going to put your ephemera on top, like so. Okay, and then we've got, it's better to just go ahead and trim this extra off, or it'll keep sticking, on everything. So I'll just go ahead and cut that off, and then I fussy cut out the ephemera. Now, if any of you are new to fussy cutting, what I do is my first thing I do is get this sticky stuff off so it doesn't start sticking to everything while we're trying to work with it. And it's just around the edges. Okay, so we got rid of that before it sticks to everything yummy. And then what I do is I'll just go ahead and rough cut Yeah, I just kind of rough cut out the pieces. It's just how I do it. There's all kinds of ways to fussy cut. But I go ahead and cut all them out first. I will get that cut out, and then I go back in with my curved. I like the curved fussy cut scissors. They don't necessarily have to be curved, but you want to hold your scissors. Let me get down to it, where our subject here. You want to hold your scissors in place and move your paper around. And that's how you fussy cut. So I'll go ahead and do these off camera. You don't need to watch that, but I'll fussy cut these and come back. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this and with the tags, that same process. And my tags, like I said, I'm going to put a lighter cardstock on that, probably like close to this color, and then we can stamp on those. So I will be back in a few minutes. All right, so I finished fussy cutting everything, and I went ahead and put ribbon on my tags. I inked up, so I cut out the ephemera and then I inked up the edges, and I thought I would just show you that real quick. So in case you've never done that, I use all kinds of different ones, but I've got these Versa Magic ones that I got from a conference this summer, and I love the shape of them, so it makes it really easy to ink up your edges. And you just kind of want to go around. Well, it's really a matter of taste. You can go in further if you want, or just right around the edges. And then like I said, I like this shape because you can really get into like the nooks and crannies and stuff. So I did half of them in red and some of them in blue, because I did have a blue ink as well. But I just thought I'd show you this real quick. And there we have that. Okay, and then I do like to tie for variety, I like to tie my ribbons different on different tags. So I got some of this crinkle still, and then these, what I did is I looped them through and then tied a little bow. I probably should have showed you that, but if you loop through and then bring it toward the front, you can make a little bow on those. So I thought these turned out really cute. Now, I left it, put it on this lighter cardstock to be stamped, but I realized I don't have any like really cutesy kind of Valentine stamps, but my friend does, so I'm going to be borrowing those. So I'm not going to stamp today, and I just cut out a few of the conversation hearts, not all of them. All right. Now, let's go ahead and work on first. I'll work on the cover, and I was thinking that maybe I would put a tag, because we got all this space here for the cover. You could do that, or you could put, like, if you had a title you wanted to give it to someone, you could write that in there. But I was thinking maybe I would do like one of these. That's pretty with the flowers there, isn't it? Do one of these. Oh, even love. And then, you know what? I really like this, because I was thinking I could also put a heart here, because we got love you always. We could put there. Love you bunches. I choose you. Oh, how sweet is that? You're my smile. That is sweet. You're my smile. Love you bunches. I choose you. That might be really cool. And then we're going to pop dot that. And I also have, I thought these might work. I have these Prima flowers. I can always get, Prima Marketing has like their warehouse boxes or surprise boxes, $75. And I'm guaranteeing you get so much more than $75 worth of product. I love it to get their surprise boxes. If you look on my videos, you'll see that I've had a couple there I've done videos on. But I thought these would be adorable on this. So I'm going to see about putting some of these on here too. What I plan on doing, but I want to show you one more thing. Yeah, I think, well, it kind of looks like a spider. And I've got some different bling here. We're going to add some bling. What I think I'm going to do is just, after I show you one more thing, I'm going to go ahead and just embellish, turn music on. I'll probably speed it up a little bit, but you can watch me embellish it without talking. But before all of that, I do want to show you, I thought it would be really cute to do a picket fence on this book. And I have my creative memories. It's the border punch system, border maker system, and I have the picket fence. It comes with it. If you buy the border maker system, the picket fence is the one that comes with it, and that's what I use to make this. So I'll show you that, and then I'll have to, of course, cut some of it because it wouldn't all fit in the book. And this is intended for 12-inch paper, but of course this is not 12 inches, so it's not going to fit all the way. But for your paper, what you do is you take this out. That's like your paper guide to tell you how far you want to put your paper. You lift this little blue piece up, and then you slide it in till it reaches the end there. Of course, it's not going to go all the way because this isn't 12-inch paper. And then you take your, so this is the border maker system. And you buy your separate, like I said, the picket fence comes with it, but you buy your separate cartridges, and then they fit in here like that. They'll snap in place. And then you line this up. Well, run this in, so we're going to have to move it that way. So you line this up. Oops. Oh yeah, if I get it the right way. No, that was the right way. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah. It's always hard to do things when you're, oh, I know what I'm doing. Gosh, I started the paper guide there. So, next step, you push the paper guide out of the way, put it back where it belongs. Then you can slide this on, and you match those up, and it goes right in the notches. If you match these edges up, you can feel the notches in this. That's what I love about it. And then you just press, and then you move it down until it fits into the next one, and it will go in there easily, so you can't mistake where you're at. It won't go in until it reaches that spot. You push down again, and again, and let's turn it this way, and one more. But I was thinking that this little cute little book would be great with the picket fence. I think we can get one more out of this. Yep, there we go. So now we have it in navy and red, and like I said, we'll have to cut it because our book isn't that big. But isn't that cute? I thought I'd show you that. All right. And I am going to, like I said, go ahead, put some music on, and just, you know, embellish this, and we'll see how it turns out. you see how quickly you can put together a booklet, and I'm probably going to bling this up a little bit more. This flower wasn't stuck on because I didn't realize I had two of them on here, so we'll go ahead and, I could have just stuck the red bling on, but I got lots of these flowers, so it's okay. We'll double it up there. All right, but this was a ton of fun, and like I said, I'm probably going to add some more, and I'm definitely going to add some more photos, and not more, add some photos. And I had thought this would be good like for kids or pets, but I put the I Choose You. I think I'll do my husband on here, my husband and I, some of our photos of us. That's really cute. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back with more videos. Thanks for watching.